Good morning students and welcome back to Relief Tutorials. In the previous lecture we have discussed about types of salt, that acidic salt, basic salt and neutral salt. Acidic salt is actually made from strong acid and weak base. Alkaline salt means basic salt is actually made from strong base and weak acid. Neutral salt is made from strong acid, strong base or weak acid, weak base. We have already made some list of strong acid, strong base, weak acid and weak base. The acidic salt's pH is less than 7 according to its characteristics. Alkaline salt means basic salt having its pH is more than 7 and neutral salt having its pH 7. So this all you have to remember only. Now the last actual topic of your chapter is about the very famous salt called common salt. The formula for the common salt is NaCl. Okay, NaCl. So I think from the formula of this common salt you can derive which are the parental acid and base. Corresponding to Na, its strong base is NaOH. Corresponding to Cl, its strong acid is HCl. So both means NaCl is made from strong base and strong acid. So common salt is, first of all, it's a neutral salt. It is actually obtained, you can obtain in the laboratory by the reaction of NaOH and HCl. Okay, now we know the source of this common salt. It can be obtained from ocean water. It also can be obtained from the mined coal, means coal mines, rock salt obtained from the coal mines also. And it's a very important raw material. It's a very important raw material for the production of many such type of materials which is used in our daily life. Some of the important raw material we are going to study further in this. So overall, if I say that common salt is a very important salt in our day-to-day life, common salt itself is helpful and many other products can be obtained from common salt. Okay, let us see the first product obtained from common salt, and that is sodium hydroxide. The common name for sodium hydroxide is caustic soda. Caustic soda. Chemical formula for sodium hydroxide is NaOH, the strong base. How it can be obtained from common salt? Let us see the preparation method. Listen to me carefully. Consider the vessel, and this is the solution of common salt in water. Solution of common salt in water means we can represent it by like this: NaCl plus H2O, and this mixture is called as brine, B-R-I-N-E. Now, when we pass electricity, let us say these are the two electrodes. This is the arrangement. The rod which is connected to positive pole of the battery is called as anode, and the rod which is connected to negative pole of the battery is called as cathode. Now when you made the switch on, electricity will pass through it. Electricity will pass through this solution also. So what is there in your solution? You have NaCl and H2O. You have molecules of NaCl in the solution, you have molecules of water in the solution. So due to current which is passing from the solution, all the substances, means both the substances, get ionized. So you will have ionized structure like this: Na plus, Cl minus, H plus and OH minus. This is the ionization of NaCl and H2O. So when we pass electricity, the molecules breaks and converted into ions. So breaking of molecules, here what we are doing, we are breaking the molecules. So breaking of molecules with the help of electricity is called as electrolysis process. So here exactly what we are doing electrolysis of solution of salt in water. NaCl AQ aqueous solution. So what exactly the experiment we are performing? We are doing electrolysis of NaCl. So this is how we can produce NaOH. Look at here. Now this Na plus combines with OH minus to form NaOH. And now what about this H plus and Cl minus? See, this rod is anode. Anode means positive rod. So this negative ion Cl minus, this negative ion Cl minus comes here and liberated in the form of chlorine gas. This H plus ion, this is cathode, negatively charged rod. So this positive ion will run towards the negative ion, and this H plus ion converted to hydrogen gas. This Cl minus converted here in the chlorine gas and hydrogen gas here. So can I say Cl2 gas liberated on anode and hydrogen gas liberated on cathode. Is that clear? And what will be left in your solution? You will left what? Na plus and OH minus combined to form NaOH. So in your vessel you will have NaOH, and that's what we wanted to produce. So how NaOH is produced? NaOH is produced by the electrolysis process of aqueous solution of sodium chloride. This process is also named as chlor-alkali process. The reason for this name, chlorine is in place of chlorine gas. Chlorine gas is obtained and sodium hydroxide, the two important products are obtained. So the name given as chlor-alkali process. Alkali means base. So important base NaOH is formed, chlorine gas is also formed. So this process is also named as chlor-alkali process. Chemically the name is electrolysis of sodium chloride. So at the end of the process, three products you have obtained. The important product NaOH already, hydrogen gas also liberated at cathode, so that also can be collected, and chlorine gas also liberated on anode can be collected. So ultimately when you have common salt NaCl, you can obtain how many products from this? Three products from this. At cathode you will have hydrogen gas. At anode you will have chlorine gas, and in the vessel you will have NaOH. We know that hydrogen is used as fuels, also used as it's a raw material in the production of ammonia. It is used. Ammonia is also used in the fertilizer industries. So hydrogen also used in the manure fertilizer industries also. Chlorine is also a very important product. Chlorine, we know that chlorine is used for chlorination, for the purification of water. So chlorine makes the water germ free. In swimming pools, in water parks, we know that in all the water bodies, chlorine is present to make the water germ free. If you remember CFC also, CFC means chlorofluorocarbon. Chlorofluorocarbon. So this is used in the electronic industries. It is also used in the refrigerator preparations. Chlorofluorocarbon. So chloro is what? Chlorine gas there. Pesticides, insecticides is also prepared with the help of chlorine. So chlorine is also one of the important product. And the most important is what? NaOH, which we have produced, the caustic soda. Okay, it is used in the degreasing of metals. Degreasing. Greasing is what? Greasing, you know that grease is one of the friction preventive substance. It's sticky in nature. So if you want to remove the grease from the automobile parts, from the ball bearings and other parts, if you want to degrease it, means if you want to remove that sticky oily substance, NaOH can be used. NaOH is also widely used in the soap industries, okay, detergent industries, paper industries, and also fiber industries, artificial fibers like nylon, rayon, polyesters. In all this, NaOH is quite useful. So this is all about the electrolysis process of sodium chloride, and we have seen NaOH is the important product. One more product to be understood is bleaching powder, which is obtained with the help of common salt. Chlorine is also, we know that chlorine is liberated on anode. So with the help of this chlorine, we can produce bleaching powder. So eventually chlorine is produced from NaCl. So bleaching powder is also the good product which is obtained with the help of NaCl. Now bleaching powder, the chemical name of bleaching powder is calcium oxychloride. Calcium oxychloride, and the name is CaOCl2. Chemical formula is CaOCl2, calcium oxychloride. It is produced what is the production method? Listen to me carefully. It is produced by the action of chlorine on slacked lime. Slacked lime means calcium hydroxide, CaOH twice. Okay, so CaOH twice, chlorine, when these two substance reacts, it forms CaOCl2, calcium oxychloride plus water. Is that clear? So this is called action of chlorine on CaOH twice, means calcium hydroxide. Is that clear? Now what are the uses of bleaching powder? The first one, bleaching, the name itself said it is used to bleach, used for Bleaching process. Bleaching process. To bleach means what? What do you mean by to bleach? Normally to bleach means what? To remove colored agents. Okay. So normally it is used in paper industries to make the wood pulp colorless, so the paper becomes white. Cloth industries, we know that if we go for outing, and if we take rest in hotels, I think you have seen the 5-star hotels. So they use white curtains, they use white bed sheets, they use white covers of the pillow. Why they are using white color? Actually, we know that white color is a color which can be is easily get having certain stains on that. It can easily get infected by the others. Then why they are using white color? It can easily get contaminated. But why they are using white is what? They don't have to wash them. They just bleach them using the bleaching powder, using the bleaching liquid. So that if you wash colored cloth with the help of this bleaching powder, I think they become colorless. So I think many times you have read some warning on the clothes that don't bleach this, because what? Because the color which is there, with the help of bleaching powder, color can be removed. So don't use bleaching powder on the colored cloth. Second use is, it is used to disinfect water, to make it germ free. It is also used as oxidizing agent in chemical reactions. It is used for oxidizing some substance, means as an oxidizing agent in many chemical reactions. So 3 uses there. You have to write it and prepare it. So this is about the bleaching powder. You have to remember the production. The name of bleaching powder is calcium oxychloride, CaOCl2, calcium oxychloride. Production process we have seen, uses we have discussed. Next product is baking soda. Baking soda. Baking soda having the chemical formula NaHCO3. Sodium bicarbonate. Or also called as sodium hydrogen carbonate. Okay, it is prepared. What is the production method? Look at here. It is somewhat complicated to remember. Okay, brine. First of all, you have to take brine. Brine means aqueous solution of NaCl. So the action of carbon dioxide and ammonia over brine. Action of carbon dioxide and ammonia over brine. This is brine, this is carbon dioxide, this is ammonia, and it gives 2 products. One of the sublime as NH4Cl and NaHCO3. This NaHCO3 means sodium bicarbonate or sodium hydrogen carbonate. Okay, so this is sodium bicarbonate, baking soda, normally used in the food industries. Many times we use it at our home also. Remember, this is baking soda, not baking powder. This is baking soda, not baking powder. This is soda. How can we prepare baking powder? So it's a use number 1, that how can we prepare powder from it. Okay, so this is NaHCO3. If you react it with any one of the mild acid, okay, so this is mild acid, so obviously that acid, it may be acetic acid, it may be tartaric acid, it may be citric acid, any one of the mild means weaker acid. Acetic acid, we know, for example, if you take CH3COOH, any one of the acid we use, we know that there is a H plus ion present or not. So that we require here. So any one of the mild acid you use, formic acid if you use, formic acid having the formula HCOOH, so it also contains H. So these H plus ion reacts with OH and it forms water, carbon dioxide and one of the salt here. Now that salt will be of sodium, so that is called as sodium salt. Sodium salt of acid, and this sodium salt of acid is the baking powder. Now at our home we have soda, we don't have any powder. If you have soda, for example, at your home, so during the cooking process, whatever the mild acid present in the food material, that and soda reacts and carbon dioxide is produced, water is also produced, and now this carbon dioxide which is produced during the cooking of food, it makes the substance spongy and soft. The softness, or have you seen the breads, pav? See the softness, see the sponginess. This is what, because of what the carbon dioxide is produced, and it creates the pores in the material, and the air is trapped in that pores, and that becomes spongy or soft. Okay, whatever the powder, if the mild acid is not present, just the baking soda, look at here, NaHCO3, just baking soda is heated during the cooking process. If we heat it, it forms only Na2CO3, water is removed and carbon dioxide is removed, 2, and the equation is balanced. So sodium bicarbonate converted to sodium carbonate. Baking soda converted to washing soda. This is washing soda material. So when you heat sodium bicarbonate alone, it gives sodium carbonate. If you heat the baking soda in presence of some mild acid, it gives water, carbon dioxide and one of the salt which contains sodium. That is called as sodium salt of that acid. Okay. In the previous lectures also we have seen one of the characteristics, that when any metallic bicarbonate or metallic carbonate reacts with acid, they always form salt, water and carbon dioxide. Do you remember this? So I think the same reaction is here. This is sodium bicarbonate, means is one of the metallic bicarbonate. It reacts with one of the acid which gives sodium salt, means salt, water and carbon dioxide. Is that clear? Now the next, one more property I want to discuss. The same reaction we can use here, that NaHCO3 when reacts with HCl, use number 2. Use number 1 is this. Use number 1, that we can produce baking powder with the help of baking soda. And then this is what the use number 2, that if you react NaHCO3 with HCl, we know that again this is metallic bicarbonate reacts with acid to form salt, water and carbon dioxide. Okay, simple. This NaCO3 is also used in soda, acid, fire extinguisher. Soda, acid, fire extinguisher. I think you have seen the red color cylinders in our schools and hospitals and theaters. So that are soda, acid, fire extinguisher. Why the name is soda, acid, fire extinguisher? Because soda means baking soda and acid means sulfuric acid. So soda, baking soda and sulfuric acid combine and they form fire extinguisher because they liberate CO. Okay, next product is washing soda. Chemical formula for washing soda is Na2CO3 into 10H2O. So I think this is the first time you are observing this type of formula having into 10H2O. What is this into 10H2O? So before going towards the washing soda, let us see what is this into 10H2O means. Consider this is Na2CO3. Let us say this is the molecule of Na2CO3 and this is the water particle just sticked physically. So this is called as physical contact. And let us say this is Na2CO3 molecule. Let us say this is Na2CO3 and this is water molecule. Stick to it physically. Just like the water particles stick to our body, just like the water particles stick to our clothes physically. That can be easily removed. Let us say this is Na2CO3 and let us say this is one of the water molecule connected by means of chemical bond. This is water molecule connected by means of chemical bond. It is not the physical contact, it is chemical contact. So these water molecules, so there is a difference in these two water molecules connected to the parent molecule. This is called as physical contact and this is called as chemical contact by means of bond. Now this arrangement is represented by like this Na2CO3 plus H2O because this is physical. So actually they are separated. They are not connected by means of chemical, but this chemical contact is represented as Na2CO3 into H2O. Into is representing the chemical contact. So here into 10H2O means what? Such 10 molecules 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All these water molecules are connected to Na2CO3. Can you see the figure? Seems like coronavirus, but it is not. 10 water molecules are connected to parent Na2CO3 by chemical bond. Remember, such type of water which is connected to the parent molecule by means of chemical bond is called as water of crystallization. This water is called as water of crystallization. This water which is in the physical contact is simply water. But this water which is having the chemical contact is called as water of crystallization or also called as crystal water. So this is the crystal water. Again, for example, this is Na2CO3 and having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So these are the 10 water molecules connected to Na2CO3. So this is called as Na2CO3 into 10H2O. So this is the water of crystallization connected. Now that may be some question in your mind that can we remove this water molecule? It's very easy to remove this water molecule, first of all. And second thing, once the water molecule get removed, you can again connect it. It is also very easy to add these water molecules again, like these only, like the chemical contact. So once you heat these, when you heat these, what happens? All these water molecules get evaporated because of the heating. These bonds is broken. This bond is very weak. So this bond is broken and these molecules get separated, water molecules. Consider all the molecules get separated. So now what left here only? It is what? Na2CO3, and all the water molecules are now separated. Okay, so this is Na2CO3 into NH2O, and once they get separated, it is Na2CO3 plus 10H2O. This was the Na2CO3, means this was the salt having water of crystallization. Such type of salt are called as hydrated salts. So what do you mean by the word hydrated? Hydrated salts means the salts which has crystal water present or water of crystallization are present. And now once this all water molecules get left, now what left only? They are evaporated, water molecules evaporated. So only Na2CO3 is, this is called as anhydrous salt, which was actually having water, but now it is anhydrous because it was the water removed from it. So anhydrous salts means the salt which was actually hydrated, but due to some process water is evaporated. So that is called as anhydrous salts. Now again, can you again make it hydrated from anhydrous? Yes, if you just provide some water in contact, automatically all the waters get connected by means of chemical bond and again come back in the original position of Na2CO3 into NH2O, and it becomes again hydrated. See, it is not necessary that every time 10 molecules are present in all the salts. No, it is Na2CO3 which has the capacity to hold 10 molecules at a time. So it can hold 1, it can hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and maximum 10. Less than 10 is possible, but more than 10 is not possible. Same thing, another salt, for example, CuSO4. So it has a maximum capacity to hold 5 water molecules. So into 5H2O is the maximum amount of crystal water can be present. Okay, now these water molecules, crystal water molecules present in the molecule provides color to the substance. Colorful salts we have seen because of what? Such type of water molecules present. For example, into 5H2O, due to presence of these 5 molecules of water, it is called as blue. It has blue color. So we know that it is also famous as blue vitriol, or copper sulfate solution is also called as blue vitriol. But once you heat that substance and if 5 molecules of water left, so what you will have only CuSO4, anhydrous salt, and it is having no color. So no color. But again, if you provide some water with CuSO4, again that water molecules get crystallized with CuSO4 and again the blue color will be reappear. So one thing is sure, that these molecules are easy to remove and easy to connect. So such type of salts are called as hydrated salt. Many salts are available in nature that having hydrated molecules. For example, CaSO4, calcium sulfate into 2H2O. Calcium sulfate into 2H2O means these water molecules are connected to calcium sulfate by means of crystallization. This is gypsum. This is gypsum. Is that clear? So such type of molecules are present. Okay, now back to the topic. The topic is actually about washing soda. Washing soda. is Na2CO3 into 10H2O, the chemical formula. Sodium, see okay, one more thing to tell you. The chemical name of this is sodium carbonate, and 10 molecules of H2O means decahydrate. Hydrate is for water, and deca means 10. If you have 2, you can say dihydrate. If you have 1, monohydrate. If you have 3, trihydrate. 4, tetrahydrate. 5, pentahydrate, hexahydrates, hepta, octa, nona, and deca. So whatever the number of molecules are here, that prefix is used and followed by hydrate word. So sodium carbonate, the parent name, and decahydrate means 10 molecules of water connected to sodium carbonate by means of chemical bond. It's very easy to obtain. In the previous products, baking soda, we have seen that when you heat baking soda alone, it converts to washing soda Na2CO3. So NaHCO3 when heated, it forms Na2CO3, and we know that when Na2CO3 is provided excess amount of water, simply to connect. So when you provide Na2CO3 excess amount of water means Na2CO3 plus excess amount of water. So what they require? 10 molecules of water per 1 molecule of Na2CO3. So if you are taking 100 molecules of Na2CO3, you have to take 1000 molecules of water. Means excess amount of water should be provided for certain time, and automatically these 10 molecules get attached with Na2CO3, and now this is washing soda, and this is hydrated, and this was anhydrous. Anhydrous means having no water molecules connected, and hydrated means water molecules are connected. Next is plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris having the chemical name calcium sulfate hemihydrate. See, for 10 we have word deca, for 1 we have word mono, but for the half we have word hemi. Just like the hemisphere means half sphere, hemi means half. Hemi means half. So chemical formula for plaster of Paris should be calcium sulfate hemihydrate, means CaSO4 calcium sulfate into half H2O. So you may be a little bit confused that how the half molecule of water connected. It is not so. Actually, let me tell you the preparation and then we can understand. Actually, calcium sulfate is made from gypsum. Recently, I have told you one of the formula of gypsum, that gypsum means CaSO4 into 2H2O. CaSO4 into 2H2O, and here CaSO4 into half H2O. So this plaster of Paris, POP, we know it very well. POP is made from gypsum. What we have to just to do, actually 2H2O is here and here half H2O, means we have to remove certain number of water molecules, and to remove it obviously we have to heat it. Just to heat them, and to heat and evaporate we have to heat this CaSO4 into half H2, we have to heat gypsum, gypsum to be heated at 100 degrees Celsius, means 373, because 100 degrees Celsius is the vaporization point for water, boiling point. So gypsum can be converted into POP, leaving certain amount of water. Now what exactly happening, that consider this is CaSO4 and 2H2O. So I think this is gypsum. CaSO4 into 2H2O means gypsum. Okay. Now this is another CaSO4 into 2H2O. This is another number of CaSO4 into 2H2O, means gypsum molecules are present. Now when you heat these, what happens? Not all the water molecules get evaporate, but what happens? Consider these are the 2 molecules of CaSO4 and 4 molecules of water. Now 3 molecules from these will get evaporate, and what left? Only 1 between 2. 1 between 2. So now they form like this: 1 water molecule connected to 2 CaSO4 simultaneously. So 2 CaSO4 into H2O. But if you divide this number by 2, so per 1 CaSO4 there is half water molecule connected. So what we can write? CaSO4 into 2H2O is heated at 100 degrees Celsius. It forms CaSO4 into half H2O, and 1.5 H2O water is evaporated. So the balanced chemical equation is this: CaSO4 into half H2O, this is called as POP, plaster of Paris, and this is half H2O. 1.5 H2O is liberated. Now gypsum is one of the ore we found from earth, and when gypsum is obtained from the earth, it is quite strong. It's a stone like, it's a one type of stone only, you can say. It's quite hard, strong. Okay, so when you heat this and when you remove this water molecule and CaSO4 into half H2O is obtained, it is powder form. This was stone form, rocky. Nature of gypsum is quite rocky. Okay, but nature of CaSO4 into half H2O is powder. So rocky, strong substance is again what? Powdered. It is broken into pieces. But as we know that these lost water molecules again can be accumulated if you provide certain amount of water. Then again the reaction, when you provide, let us say this is CaSO4 into half H2O means POP, and in that powder you are adding more amount of water. So it automatically accumulates the remaining amount of water, and it again forms CaSO4 into 2H2O, which is again gypsum. So POP is again converted into gypsum when it is provided excess amount of water. But we know that this was powder and this is again strong and rocky. So what we do when you want to convert POP into gypsum, first of all you decide that which shape you require, because once the gypsum is obtained you cannot change the shape. If you want to change the shape again, then you have to again heat gypsum and convert it to POP, and again the same procedure you have to follow. It will be quite lengthy and costly. So when you try to form again gypsum, means you have to form some statues, you want to do some designing on the ceiling of, so that again that you have to decide first, and that you have to mold it. So corresponding dies and corresponding shape should be formed. So for that, first of all you have to, and then you add water, so you can form the corresponding statues or some murtis and etc. Showpiece, many things are obtained, because once POP got enough amount of water, it will be converted into gypsum, and then the shape will be permanent. Okay, so what are the uses for this gypsum? So the use of this gypsum is, first it is used by the doctors for joining fractured bones. Okay, for making plaster to support the fractured bones, as we have seen the plastered on the fractured hands and legs. It is also used, this POP is also used in the production of decorative items, decorative pieces, to making designs on the ceilings, to making statues and etc. Okay, so that's all about the plaster of Paris and water of crystallization. I think we didn't discuss the uses of washing soda. It is used in the glass industries, soap industries. It is also used in the paper industries. It is also used in the removing the permanent hardness of water. It is used in the removing of permanent hardness of water. It is also used in the manufacturing of borax powder. Which powder? Borax powder also can be formed from washing soda. Borax powder is used in many industries also. And obviously it's a washing soda, so it is used in the preparation of detergents, which is washing agents. So that's all about the chapter here. Everything we discuss in the quite fundamental way. It's quite informative. You have to follow, you have to go through each and every point. And see, the time we are passing through, it's quite critical. COVID-19 situation is becoming more and more harsh. And during this all mental disturbance, we have to maintain our education. So students are requested, be calm, don't rush towards the syllabus and don't rush towards what the chapters and one by one chapters are going in our school. Be calm, be patient, have some patience, and repeatedly watch this video to make your fundamentals clear. After all, the fundamentals will be important. The concepts are important. Many parents complain that the students are not watching the video repeatedly but we have to go through it. Go slowly. I'm not saying that you have to work very hard on it, but go slowly. Pause the video to see. Making notes is quite important. You can go through the videos again and again. It's one of the benefit of these classes. So please be careful and please follow these topics. And if you have, again let me repeat, if you have any doubt, please call freely. And homework, which is to be strictly done by you, and you have to send the pictures of your homework in our WhatsApp number. The homework is you have to go through all the blue color questions from our textbook and you have to go through the exercise. And if you have any doubt, please contact me. Best of luck.